Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Atika Mawardah binti Abdul Razak.
Hi, my name is Isnulisa Syaira binti Ismail Syahrum.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Aiman Alif bin Abdul Kadir.
Hi, my name is Rakila.
Hi, I am Nur Khalida binti Saiful Asli.
For introduction of line of defense, it consists of 3 lines which are management control, the various risk control and compliance oversight functions established and independent assurance. So each line plays different role within the organization's governance framework. The primary stakeholders serve the governing bodies and senior management in order to help to ensure this line of defense model reflect the organization's risk management and control process. So for the first line of defense, which is operation management, consists of business owners. It has functions that own and manage the risk, where operation management has ownership, responsibility and accountability for directly assessing, controlling and mitigating risks. Operation management must comply with the risk management process and implement the process where it is applicable. After that, the management execute the risk assessment and identify emerging risks. This shows that the line department need to have strategic understanding and fully conversant with the risk undertaken and are accountable for ensuring that the appropriate mitigating controls are in place.
So, next I will proceed to the second line of defense, which is risk management and compliance function. The second line defense allows the detection of emerging risks in everyday activity of the company. It provides this by delivering compliance and supervision in the form of framework, policy, resources, and procedure to facilitate risk and compliance management. There are 3 functions of second line defense. The first is a risk management purpose that promotes and track the adoption of appropriate risk management process to the organizational and assist risk owner in identifying the desired risk exposure and reporting sufficient risk related information through the organizational. The second line of defense is control role that track financial risk and problem related to the financial statement. The last function is the compliance function to track various specified risks and such as non-compliance with relevant laws and regulations. In this position, the separate role report directly to the senior management and in some industry sector directly to the governing body. Multiple enforcement rules also reside within a single entity with responsibility for various forms of compliance monitoring, such as healthy and safety, supply chain, environmental, or quality monitoring. Now, we are going to talk about the second line defense responsibility. First is to give support in the management policy, set up the goal for the new implementation, and prepare description of duties and obligations. Second, providing mechanism for risk assessment. Third, identify, establish, and current problem. Fourth, assist management in developing procedure and system to handle risk and problems. Fifth, provide advice and instruction on risk management process. The last is facilitating and monitoring the adoption of innovative risk management practice by the operational management.
The third line of defense is internal audit. But what is internal audit? So internal audit is an independent, objective assurance and consulting activity designed to add value to and improve an organization operation. But what is the function of internal audit? So internal auditor provide the governing body and also senior management with comprehensive assurance based on the highest level of independence and also objectivity within the organization value.
The current issue that faced by CIMB Group Holding Berhad is that the company has significant decline on its shareholder value. The declining of the share price is down by 37% in the last 3 years, where it fall well short under market return. Meanwhile, the earning per share has dropped by 27% each year throughout the 3 years of the share price fall, where it is the worse than 14% compound annual share price fall. However, the investor feels disappointed towards the company as the earning per share and share price changes over the time. Therefore, they will predict that there will be discrepancies between price and value in the marketplace. Compared with the Alliance Bank Berhad and AMMB Holding Berhad, the stock price of it is currently trading at the cheapest price to book value of 0.54 times. So this indicates that the company's group share significantly undervalued due to the bank has under-delivered in its return on equity (ROE), where the group's CEO believed that if ROE is higher, the share price will bounce back. The CEO of CIMB Group Holding Berhad, which Dato' Abdul Rahman Ahmad, figured that ROE is the drivers that lead to increase or decrease of the share price or the value. He also observed at the other leading banks which trade above book value, which the ROE is straight at or higher than book value. So therefore, the CEO of the company decided to focus on getting higher ROE. Besides ROE, the company also considered that the bank's earning is the factor that the shareholder value declining, where the CIMB's earnings are below expectation in recent years. This is due to poor share price performance over the last few years, which depressed by lower earnings at the investment bank division, as well as its Indonesian unit, CIMB Niaga. Besides a fund management with local investment bank, the banking analysts also had the same view, where stock falling out of the favor among investors is because poor earnings.
Now we are going to proceed with the rules and the steps that have been taken of the second line of defense in the CIMB group in order to overcome their current issue. First, the group risk and other management roles in the second line of defense include supervision and independent evaluation of the company operation by reporting to the manager and the board of directors in order to ensure that the CIMB group performs and operates under the approved risk appetites and complies with the regulation. The committee will ensure that the plan taken in the first line of defense will be effective and then will give the update frequently to the BOD. Second, the CIMB Group and Legal Division, GLC, we conduct regulatory check for company and support entities to ensure that regulatory requirements are taken for the right plan. Therefore, the plan of increase the ROE in order to override the problems such as over-invested in low-return business and under-invested in high-return business will be followed the right regulatory. Third, Group Risk Officer CIMB will maintain oversight of risk management function for all departments within the group. In each key area of operation, there is a local chief risk officer or a local head of risk management who will be in charge to evaluate and handle business risks and to coordinate with regulators in respective country. Fourth, risks are handled from a risk-taking point of view. The CIMB Group had introduced a risk-based delegate authority structure, manage risk in strategic way with the group risk as a feature independent of business division. This will strengthen coordination between group risk and business unit.
In the third line of defense, which is internal audit, what they're gonna do. So in this situation, the auditor will perform the analytical procedure at the planning stage in order to identify the unusual transaction and also event, and to understand the main trend that reflected in the financial statement for the year due to the decline of the shareholder value.
Okay, next I will explain about advantages of line of defense. The three lines of defense is benefit to help the organization to understand the responsibility of and relationship among the board, management, internal audit, and others. Furthermore, this model can raise awareness among themselves who often misinterpret their roles and duties of the various stakeholders involved. It makes them understand who is responsible for what and where the responsibility and accountability lines lie. So that when internal audit needs to do their work, everyone that they are working with, including their client, for instance, hopefully will have a familiarity with this framework and then will be able to cooperate with internal audit accordingly to make sure those audits are done more effectively and efficiently. Next, the second advantage of line of defense is enhanced clarity regarding risk and controls and helps improve the effectiveness of risk management system. It means that they improve risk and control coverage by identifying and rectify the population of risk and controls where applicable and by correctly allocating ownership and performance of these risks and controls across lines of defense. Consequently, any unexpected risks and gaps in control may be avoided and excessive duplication of work, eliminating layers of redundant controls can be avoided. Last but not least, line of defense helps the organization in improving of reporting to the board and executive management through a coordinated approach to providing timely and insightful reporting, and it is for avoiding potentially duplicative and irrelevant information. Moreover, it provides an additional level of protection to stakeholders by working it together. There will be no redundancy, avoid wasting limited resources, and the organization's way to work will be systematic. Next is the disadvantages of line of defense. Firstly, the disadvantage is lack of knowledge, skills and motivation to complete reliable risk assessment. Some organizations provide less formal training to the management on top value creation and preservation objective. In short, they did not have the capability and responsibility for risk management because they lack of training and not expected to do formal risk assessment. These disadvantages stress on the first line of defense, which is the management who is responsible for maintaining effective internal controls and ultimately own and manage risks. Next, line of defense is too distinct and did not capture the coordination and shared responsibility for risk and controls in an organization. It means that the responsibilities and accountability have been unclear for many organizations. As such, this will resulting in unnecessary duplication of effort and wasting of cost. Moreover, the concept of this line is uncertain, therefore it need to be reconsidered to have better embrace in managing the certainty, avoid risk and ensure the objectives are achievable. Last but not least, there is inadequate and subjective risk assessment performed by internal audit. Failure by internal audit to identify high-risk areas or processes will lead to audit focusing on the wrong areas, therefore undermining the effectiveness of the third line of defense. In this case, there are possibility of do the wrong task and will waste the time of the internal auditor, therefore it is highly risk on the organization side.
Here are some of the recommendations that might be applied, which is the first one is to identify and recognize all the critical issue that COVID-19 crisis has exposed the three line of defense model. In particularly, the financial institution should reassess and amend their policies and process where possible to enable sustainable corporate governance. Number 2 is review the application of the three line of defense model and its effectiveness in preventing and monitoring risk as well as supporting remedial action. Number 3 is proper coordination activities between each line of defense, and the information should be communicated to improve the efficiency and avoid duplicate the effort while ensuring all significant risks properly addressed. And the last one is person in every line of defense should understand their role and responsibility during a time of crisis, which this can be achieved through increased communication from senior management, clear guidelines, awareness and training program. As for the conclusion, the three line of defense model has provided a guideline for an effective risk management. Since the three line of defense model describe how specific duties on related risk and control could be assigned and coordinated within the organization. An effective model will help an organization to achieve with effective management of risk. Therefore, the three line of defense has become a standard model in managing uncertainty and mitigate downside risk. And the lastly is the real challenge are to ensure that the perception and expectation of the risk governance and management and audit committee are aligned. So that's all from us. Thank you.